What is up, VR enthusiasts? It's Danny with VR Punch. VR mods are a thing in the VR community now, and I must say some of the best games I played in recent time were VR mods or some kind of a VR mode for a flat screen game. This is why I was thrilled when I found out about the GTFO VR mod. For those of you who don't know, GTFO is a hardcore team-based shooter where you play a team of prisoners who are sent to a hostile underground complex and complete objectives. Teamwork is essential to your success. I enjoyed the hell out of the flat screen version, so I was very excited to try out a proper VR version with motion control support. And what can I say, maybe some games just don't translate well to the VR medium, or maybe it's too early to judge, and be patient about where the developers take it. The mod installation is pretty simple. You drag and drop some files to the game folder and voila. I was in VR replaying the tutorial to get the hang of the new controls. And as much as I was excited for the mod, it ain't Prey Dog level, but it's not fair of a comparison as Prey Dog has it way easier with translating the Resident Evil games to VR. The graphics are fine, some minor effects don't translate to the headset, like the whole feeling that you wear a gas mask throughout the game. On the base game you have tiny scratches and fog that reminds the player that you are in an infected complex, and it keeps you on your toe. The latest VR performance fix makes the game run smooth on my 360 with options like foveated rendering and upscaling methods, and the instructions are well written and understandable. The controls get the job done. You can dual wield the bigger guns. Handguns are one hand only. What I did have a major problem with is the melee combat. The attack is clunky. You click the charge button and only then you do the stab slice motion, or just keep it near the enemy, and with the knife you need to come real close to do a hit. It leaves you with a level of uncertainty in the stealth sections. Issue is fixed if you choose the spear, it has the better hitbox, but there are still some bullshit moments. Luckily the bots here do a decent job and cover up for your mistakes. My other issue was that I couldn't type in the terminal with both controllers, making the terminal parts very slow. There is an interface to help you and you can't copy every word from the screen to speed up typing, but it's just immersion breaking and I think it could be done better. The shooting is surprisingly good. It needs some polishing, but the base is there and it works. You can hold the guns as intended and look down the sights and you will hit where you want to most of the time. It needs some optimization in the iron sights as they are too big to actually aim in VR, and to add a grab button as the proximity hold ain't perfect and you need to pull your arms apart to free a hand. Interactions also need some adjustments as there is no context on how to point the controller to open doors and switches, leaving you wiggling the controller until you see the prompt to activate. Changing the controller models to a set of hands would do wonders. The default key binding sucks and it's the first thing you need to adjust to have a normal experience. Who binds the crouch on the grab button? And I don't understand how you can play it on a Quest controller as even the touch surfaces on the index controllers are used as buttons here. And this leads me to the main problem of the mod. Because the game wasn't made with VR in mind at all the mechanics are bind to buttons and not to VR mechanics. No body holsters to grab weapons from, crouching in real life instead of crouching by a button, and activating the headlamp through some magical head button instead of a button on the controller. This is the main frustration, is that the player feels at a disadvantage over the flat screen guys. It ruins the immersion and leaves the player lagging behind as the flat screen guys plow through the expedition, leaving you to stumble behind clumsily waiting for the next shooting section, as these are the only times you actually join the fun and help out. Single player with bots or a very patient group of friends are recommended if you're going to play it on VR. With all that I said, it's important to notice that this mod is still a work in progress, and despite the clunkiness, it is a good mod. You are going to have fun and intense moments with it. I recommend you to try it out only if you already have the game. This mod is still not in the stage to be a game seller like Prey Dog's Resident Evil mods or the Half-Life VR mod. This was Danny with VR Punch. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.